In today's video, we're going to be talking about the entire process for loading a SandBox. Now, we're going to start this video off by talking a little bit about the box and how it operates. Then we're going to go into how to open up the hatch on the top side of the box using either a ladder or a safe rack system. Then we're actually going to go to a loading facility and show you what the loading process looks like. And we'll talk a little bit about the details that you need to know anytime that you're loading a SandBox. Now, there are a lot of different loading facilities, and all of them have different rules and processes. So the process that you may see in this video may not be the same as the loading facility that you're going to. So always be sure to check with your supervisor prior to heading to the loading facility so that you understand what the process is. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about our SandBoxes. Now, the way that all of our SandBoxes work is they have an elongated hatch on the top side of the box. This hatch is what's opened up at the loading facility and is where you will be loaded from. On the bottom side of all of our boxes, there's an apparatus known as the slide gate. Now, there's a separate training that goes into more details about the slide gate. However, you should always know that any time that you are loading, you must always check your slide gate to make sure that it's in the closed and locked position. As the driver, it is your responsibility. Now, for the purposes of this training, I want to talk a little bit more about the top side of the box. As you can see here from this picture, the hatch on the top side of the box is elongated and goes almost the full length of the box. Again, this is what's opened up at the sand loading facility and is where you will load from. Now, anytime that you are loading a box, you want to make sure that you load 43 to 45,000 pounds. Again, we'll go into a little bit more detail on this here in a little bit. Also, you want to make sure that you close this hatch prior to leaving a loading facility after you have loaded. Again, we always want to make sure that we're closing and securing our boxes before we get out on the road so that the sand doesn't get contaminated or potentially wet. Now, you may be asking, how can I access and open this hatch on the top of the box? In today's video, we're going to be talking about our two most common ways to do this. Now, the first is going to be our ladder system. Now, ladders are installed on all of our SandBox chassis. Again, as the driver, make sure that you always check that the ladder is there and in place prior to starting your shift. Also, make sure that your ladder is in good working order prior to starting your shift as well. Now, ladders are installed on the front and the rear of all of our chassis. So again, make sure that you always have your ladder in place, just in case you may need it. Now, our ladders are removable from the chassis. Once you take the ladder off of the chassis, you can then place it in special holes that are on all of our SandBoxes. Again, always make sure that you check your ladder prior to using it. Also, make sure that your ladder is in all of the holes. If there is ever any damage or if your ladder is broken, make sure that you report it and don't use that ladder. Now, the other way that we're going to talk about is a safe rack system. Now, safe racks are typically installed at loading facilities. And as you can see from this picture, they have a staircase that will bring you up to a platform. On this platform, you'll have access then to a push-down apparatus